obviously we made some shots. I thought Sterling Carter was the difference in the game. His ability to knock down some shots for us, especially at the start of the second half, was able to get us going. I thought we did, a fairly decent job on Yogi Ferrell, and it kind of speaks volumes to how good he is, and still getting 27 points. But I thought Carter did a good job on him. I thought Bryson Scott did a good job on him, and we just play with more life. But it's easier to do that when you make more shots, and that was probably our best shooting game beyond the arc the whole season. And for us to do that without getting A.J. Hammons established, I thought was a positive. Anytime you can lose a big part of your team to foul trouble and you never establish that inside presence, and it's good to see other guys score the basketball, whether that's in transition, or from three.
Matt, you've talked about it. It's interesting. This series has been like a game of runs over the last 20 years. But today, to close the first half, I think 5-0, and open the second half 14-1, that 19-1 stretch, it goes without saying that was a difference in the game. But you started the second half the way I'm sure you wanted to.
Yeah, we were able to get a stop, right away, then able to get in transition, and just being able to get a series of stops also. You're always going to grab a box score and look at who made shots, but our ability to get stops and then get into transition I thought was big for us. And when they made that run in the in the first half to get the lead, I think we weren't getting any stops in there, so we couldn't get into transition, we couldn't push the basketball. I thought that was such a big piece to what we try to do, and it's obviously a big piece to Indiana. Indiana's, they really do a good job of getting layups, whether that's off of back cuts, whether that's off of drives or transition, and they use their athleticism. So it was important for us to be able to score the ball and then set our defense for obvious, both reasons.
Coach, you've talked about defense ever since you've been here, preached it, and obviously you've had some struggles this year, but tonight forced 14 turnovers, IU shoots 32%. What did you see from your team just defensively playing together?
Well, we wanted to try our best to keep them in front of us and try to bottle up Yogi Ferrell and then make the other guys prove it from the arc. We're going to give, even though Vonleh has a good percentage from three, we're going to give him threes, but we didn't want him driving the ball. You saw at the end of the game, when the game was over, his ability to drive the basketball a couple of times. He's a very talented player, but everybody else we wanted to keep in front of us. Obviously, Yogi's the one guy that has a good percentage. He knocked down a couple, and we were going to live with that. And I thought our guys did a good job of keeping it in front of them, and I thought that was a big part of our success.
Talking about Ferrell, I think 27 points and 17 shots. He only made 6. Just how did you what worked in making him inefficient offensively?
Well, he didn't get into a rhythm. I don't know with great players if any one thing works. I just think he just got to battle and make it tough for him. When he gets it going and starts skipping around and doing stuff, you're kind of at his mercy just because he's so fast and his change of direction is so good. His ability to shoot threes quick, to drive the basketball. But I thought if that was the case, then they started struggling as a team in that second half. And so now, obviously, he's going to look to be a little bit more aggressive. But he still did a lot of really good things. And, he gets to the free throw line a lot and steals points. I think he made 11 straight before he missed his last 2. But just, I thought Carter and Bryson Scott did a good job of just, maintaining their focus to try to wear him down a little bit.
I know in coach speak, I'll go back in. I know in coach speak you all say we look at the next game, but given this win, the way you're trying to end the season and go into the Big Ten tournament, what can this win do for your guys?
Well, hopefully it gives us some confidence. And I spoke on a little bit earlier, a little bit different for us since we didn't get Hammons established. And we had some other guys step up. Obviously, Tyrone and Ronnie Johnson have had good games before, and they had good games tonight. But just getting some consistent play in our backcourt. Sterling Carter really helped us. Bryson Scott really helped us. Rafael Davis did some good things. So just trying to gain some confidence. I thought when Indiana made their run there in the first half and had that stretch where they were pretty good, I thought we helped them. I thought we had poor guard play in that stretch. We turned the basketball over. We had a couple ill-advised shots. So if they can just kind of see sometimes just being solid and making the right decision and moving the basketball, can help you win basketball games. It's hard for some young guys to do that. So hopefully it gives us some confidence and we can get some better guard play, or I should say more consistent guard play.
Matt, just from an offensive flow perspective, you always want your team to share the ball. In the first half, it looked like it was kind of Tyrone from the middle of the zone, setting up guys on open threes, and then Bryson Scott obviously did a pretty good job distributing the ball. Just was this what you wanted from a, I guess, from an unselfishness standpoint and a sharing the ball perspective?
Right, I thought our turnovers were just ill-advised things where we adjusted. When they went zone or they did something different, we really wanted to get the ball in the high post, especially to a guy like Tyrone, and be able to attack or make our decision out of the high post. And when we did that, we actually missed it. Peck had a couple shots in there, Tyrone had a couple shots not go down, but we were making the right play, and I think that's good to see.
When we asked you about Sterling early in the season, it seemed like you were hesitant to think of him beyond sort of a role player. Didn't necessarily see him developing into this kind of starter. Just what have you seen from him more in these last couple of weeks, just in terms of what he does on the floor and I guess the leadership he's kind of been showing off the court too?
Well, I don't think the only difference I was able to see, I didn't want to start, three small guards. Sterling's done the best job defensively of any of our guards, and so he's kind of pried his way in there. But the difference is he made shots. It just looks better. You say, oh man, he's really stepped his game up. He's made shots. He's had some good looks at it before, and he hasn't been consistently knocking them down. Tonight he did, and it really gave us a boost.
Coach, what do you think of the fans' enthusiasm tonight for Purdue?
Well, I thought the fans were great. For them to come out, in the way they did and have a sellout. Our student body has been great, and the energy. And it gets loud in there. And the one thing about playing in a loud gym, a loud arena, it's loud for you too. So the crowd is there for you to get you going. I think we fed off of that. But still, when you're trying to talk to your guys or change, a call, because Indiana will mix things up at times, it's difficult to communicate. But they were great.
Matt, your ability to finish the game, and I know at halftime it's a 5-point game and you took charge. Just how important was that? How important is that going forward?
Well, I think anytime, you can start off a half, and get your head up, it really helps you push it out and be able to finish the game. And we were able to get such a good start to the second half and then get a quick lead. I think a lot of times those leads take a while to build. We were able to get that quick lead and get it up to 15, 16 points and then really maintain it. So I think that was great for our guys because that's what we had talked about. We really imploded with 10 minutes to go at Ohio State, where we had it as a possession game. Then 5 out of 7 possessions, we turned the basketball over. It was good tonight, even though it was a different game. At the 10-minute mark, we had a pretty good lead. It was still good to see our guys maintain it.
Last one, Stacey.
A lot of the first-year guys, Matt, played pretty well. They didn't back down. And did you like the response? The freshman Carter, Peck?
Well, I thought, Eric did some good things. Obviously, Basil, was really good at the end of the first half after he didn't play much in the first half. In the second half, he did some good things. I talked about Bryson's defense. He gave us some good minutes, pushed the ball a couple times, and really created opportunities for others. Kendall Stevens had a couple looks at, that he made. He could have opened some things up. Had 3 blocks in the first half. So then obviously I've talked about Sterling and how well he played. So our first year guys did a pretty good job. Jay Simpson didn't play a lot. But he got some rebounds in limited minutes, so it was good for our guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.